On August 5th, Sandisk reported a record $8.97 billion quarter, beating earnings expectations by over 12%, yet the stock sold off over 5% that same day. Meanwhile, Citi just trimmed its price target on Micron by 18%. Both memory leaders are taking hits even as major suppliers warn that AI-driven memory demand is outpacing global supply through 2026 and beyond. So why are these memory stocks sliding? And which one is the better long-term play? We're jumping straight into the head-to-head breakdown of Micron versus Sandisk. But before we get into the numbers, if you enjoy these deep dives, take a quick second to hit that like button. We're aiming for 500 likes on this video, and honestly, your support means the world and keeps us going. I'm John A.G. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Before we compare these two stocks head-to-head, you need to understand why memory has quietly become one of the most important trades in the entire AI economy. AI data centers don't just need processing power from NVIDIA and AMD. They need two other things in massive quantities: fast working memory to feed those chips in real time, and enormous storage capacity to hold the datasets those models are trained and run on. That's the entire memory market split into two lanes: DRAM, which includes high bandwidth memory, and NAND flash, which is storage. Right now, both lanes are effectively sold out. Capacity across the major producers is locked into binding, multi-year contracts running through 2026 and in some cases into 2027 and beyond. And on SpaceX's most recent earnings call, Musk gave investors a number that explains exactly why. Memory output is climbing by roughly 20% a year. Memory demand from AI infrastructure is climbing by roughly 200% a year, possibly more. That is a 10-to-1 gap between supply and demand, and it is the single biggest reason memory pricing has been exploding across the board in 2026. That's the backdrop. Now let's look at the two companies fighting for your investment dollars inside that backdrop, starting with the diversified giant. Micron is the closest thing the US has to a full-spectrum memory company. It makes DRAM, it makes high-bandwidth memory, HBM3E, and the next generation, HBM4, and it makes NAND flash. 3 product lines, 1 balance sheet. The HBM piece is what plugs Micron directly into the NVIDIA and AMD AI accelerator supply chain. This is the memory that sits physically next to the GPU, feeding it data at extreme speed. Micron has been certified to supply HBM4 for NVIDIA's next generation Vera Rubin platform, putting it in the same room as Samsung and SK Hynix for the most important memory contract in the industry. Now let's look at the numbers, because Micron's most recent quarter was genuinely record-setting. In fiscal Q3 2026, reported in late June, Micron posted revenue of $41.46 billion, toward a record and well above the $35.25 billion Wall Street was expecting. Gross margin surged to 84.6% on a GAAP basis, up from just 37.7% a year earlier. That is one of the sharpest margin expansions of any large-cap company this year, and the guidance for the current quarter, fiscal Q4, which closes this month, is even bigger. Micron is guiding for revenue of $50 billion plus or minus $1 billion and non-GAAP earnings per share of $31 plus or minus $1. Management has tied that confidence to newly signed, multi-year strategic customer agreements designed to lock in demand well beyond this cycle. Here's the number that makes Micron interesting from a valuation standpoint. Despite this run, Micron currently trades at a forward price-to-earnings ratio of roughly 5.6, one of the cheapest multiples anywhere in the entire semiconductor sector, where the industry average forward P/E is closer to 30. Its PEG ratio, which measures valuation against growth, sits in the range of 0.1. Wall Street's rule of thumb is that anything under 1.0 is considered undervalued relative to growth. Wall Street's own price targets reflect that gap. The consensus among more than 40 analysts covering Micron sits at a strong buy rating, with an average 12-month price target north of $1,500. That said, the targets are not uniform. Citi trimmed its target from $1,400 to $1,150 just this week, warning that memory pricing could peak sometime next year, while Bank of America has reiterated a buy rating with a $1,550 target, calling the recent pullback a case of investors trying to time a top in a structural growth story. The core argument for Micron comes down to this. It is 5 times larger than Sandisk by revenue. It is diversified across 3 memory product lines instead of 1, and it is trading at a valuation that, on paper, looks disconnected from its own growth rate. Sandisk tells a completely different story, a pure play bet on one product, enterprise-grade NAND flash storage. Here's why that matters for AI specifically. Every large language model needs to store an enormous training dataset somewhere. And enterprise SSDs built on NAND flash have become the go-to solution for that job inside AI data centers. Sandisk doesn't make DRAM or HBM at all. Its entire business is built around this one category, and it has become one of the largest independent NAND suppliers on Earth. The backstory here is remarkable on its own. Sandisk spun off from Western Digital as an independent public company in February 2025, opening trading at roughly $38.50 a share. At its peak this past June, the stock touched an all-time closing high above $2,300, a gain of nearly 6,000% from its spin-off price in under a year and a half. Even after this month's pullback, the stock remains up well over 3,000% since it started trading independently. Now let's talk about last week's earnings, because this is the moment that defines where Sandisk stands today. On August 5th, Sandisk reported fiscal Q4 2026 results. Revenue came in at $8.97 billion, beating the $8.39 billion estimate. Non-GAAP earnings per share hit $39.25 against an estimate of roughly $34.50, a beat of more than 12%. Data center revenue alone jumped 103% sequentially to $2.98 billion, and gross margin expanded to 84.6%. CEO David Goeckeler told investors the company closed the year having established data center as a key growth pillar, while deepening its customer partnerships across the business. And yet the stock fell anyway. Not because the quarter was weak, but because the midpoint of Sandisk's forward guidance, projecting $10.3 to $10.8 billion in revenue for the next quarter, landed just below what some Wall Street models were pricing in after a stock that had already run up roughly 500% this year. When the bar is set that high, very good isn't always good enough to hold the price. What should give investors confidence, though, is the contract backlog behind that guidance. Sandisk disclosed roughly $93.9 billion in minimum contracted revenue locked in at floor pricing, more than 4.5 times its entire fiscal 2026 revenue. Part of that pipeline includes a newly reported multi-year NAND supply agreement with Meta Platforms, tying Sandisk directly into one of the largest AI infrastructure build-outs on the planet, alongside Meta's separate DRAM agreement with Samsung. On valuation, Sandisk currently trades at a forward PE of roughly 5.9 and a PEG ratio near 0.14 tractors, numbers that look just as cheap as Micron's on a forward basis, even though the trailing PE, which reflects the past year rather than what's coming, sits much higher in the high teens. Analyst price targets on Sandisk are unusually split right now. Evercore IS sits at $2,800, Citi at $2,100, Mizuho at $1,900, Jefferies at $1,750, Wells Fargo at $1,400, and RBC Capital at $1,300 makers, a consensus average landing around $2,220, which is a meaningfully wider spread of opinion than what we see on Micron. Let's put both companies side by side. Primary AI weapon. Micron covers HBM and DRAM, the processing side of memory. Sandisk covers enterprise NAND flash, the storage side. Diversification. Micron spans DRAM, HBM, and NAND. Sandisk is a pure-play NAND company. Higher potential upside if NAND pricing keeps climbing, but zero cushion if that one category slows down. Scale. Micron generated $37.3 billion in revenue in fiscal 2025. Sandisk generated $7.3 billion, roughly 5 times smaller. Recent stock performance. Micron has more than tripled in 2026. Sandisk, even after this month's slide, remains up close to 6 times year to date, the strongest run of any S&P 500 stock this year. Valuation. Both trade at strikingly similar forward PE ratios in the mid-single digits. Micron around 5.6, Sandisk around 5.9, with PEG ratios near 0.1 on both names, suggesting the market is not fully priced in either company's forward growth. Analyst conviction. Micron has tighter consensus, a clear, strong buy with a $1,500 plus average target. Sandisk has wider disagreement, with targets ranging from $1,300 to $2,800, reflecting real uncertainty about how durable this NAND cycle is. Risk 1. Memory is a brutally cyclical business. Both DRAM and NAND have decades of boom and bust history. Citi's own note this week specifically flagged that memory pricing could peak sometime next year, a view directly at odds with the shortage through 2028 narrative coming from other desks. Risk 2, expectations are now priced for perfection. After moves of 300% and nearly 600% this year, both stocks need to keep delivering blowout quarters just to hold current levels. Sandisk's own earnings reaction last week is proof that even a genuine beat can sell off if guidance isn't dramatic enough. Risk 3, concentration risk cuts both ways. Sandisk's single product focus on NAND means it has no DRAM or HBM business to fall back on if flash pricing softens. Micron's diversification helps here, but it also means any one segment underperforming can be masked in headline numbers rather than immediately visible. Risk 4, rising competition, including from China. New NAND supply entering the market, including from Chinese manufacturers ramping production, is a factor analysts are watching closely for its potential to pressure pricing and margins across the entire NAND industry, Sandisk included. These are real structural risks, not reasons to panic, but reasons to size any position responsibly and keep watching quarterly execution. So which one actually wins for the next 3 years? Honestly, it depends on what kind of investor you are. If you lean conservative and want broader diversification with a lower single company risk profile, Micron is the stronger case. It's 5 times the size of Sandisk spread across DRAM, HBM, and NAND, trading at a forward PE near 5.6, and structurally wired into NVIDIA's next-generation AI chip roadmap through HBM4. If you lean aggressive and want maximum concentrated exposure to the NAND shortage specifically, Sandisk is the stronger case. It has real pricing power, a $93.9 billion contracted revenue pipeline, a fresh meta supply deal, and momentum that's made it the best performing stock in the S&P 500 this year, even after the pullback. Neither of these is a recommendation to buy either stock. Both are legitimate data-backed stories worth researching further on your own before you make any decision. That's the full breakdown, Micron versus Sandisk, with real Q4 and Q3 numbers, real analyst targets, and no hype. If this helped you understand the difference between the DRAM side of AI memory and the NAND side, hit that like button. It genuinely helps future AI stocks reach more investors who want research instead of noise. Drop a comment and tell me, are you Team Micron or Team Sandisk for the next 3 years? I rate every single one. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. Hit that bell too. I'm John A.G. I'll see you in the next one.